And Melly, hello and welcome to a special Easter edition of Western Perspective. Thanks for joining us. Well, it's the time of the year celebrated as a religious holiday that has been popularised by chocolate, eggs and bunnies. Easter is traditionally a religious time, but for many it recognises new life and new beginnings. With Easter this weekend, we talked to the Australian Christian Lobby's Peter Abetz this week about the true meaning of Easter.
The Easter long weekend is upon us, and many West Australians are preparing for a few days of chocolate, fun and relaxation. To the Christian community in Western Australia, however, Easter is about much more than beachside barbecues and a rabbit that likes to hide eggs. Peter Abetz, an elder at the Gateway Community Church and former Liberal politician, discussed the real meaning of Easter and the religious holiday's importance to Christians across the world.
For many people, Easter just seems to be an extra long weekend, but for Christians, it's really the centre point of their whole faith, because Good Friday marks the death of Jesus, where he suffered and died in our place, taking upon himself God's wrath for our sin, so that we do not need to bear the punishment that we deserve for our wrongdoing. And that's really the highlight, in a sense, of the Christian faith. And then, of course, on Easter Sunday, the resurrection of Jesus, which signifies that the Father has accepted the Son's payment on our behalf. So it's a great liberating event.
So do you think, obviously a lot of people get involved in the chocolate and the long weekend, but do many people in Australia understand what Easter's all about and why we have the holiday?
Look, I guess there'll be many people who don't really understand what Easter is about and Good Friday, but I think it's actually sad, because part of our whole, as a nation, our foundations are based on the Christian faith and the Christian foundations and values and so on, which flow from those very significant events. But sure, my guess is that probably only about half of the younger generation really know what Easter is about.
So what's the most important thing that our viewers should take away from the Easter message?
Well, I guess for us as Christians, it's a celebration of what we live with every day. But it also just reminds us of the fact that our faith is actually grounded in historical facts, in historical realities. It's not just something that somebody dreamt up, it's actually grounded in history. Our community would be much better off if people really understood the significance of Easter and were able to live with the assurance of their sins forgiven, and were able to reflect that in the way they forgive one another, because if we can forgive one another, it also makes a big difference in the community.
And now, here's AMA WA spokesman Dr Andrew Miller with his weekly COVID-19 update and commentary.
Hi, thanks for your time. A bit of talk this week about the XE variant of COVID, which is being found in low numbers at the moment, but clearly has some advantage over previous variants, so we will expect to see more of it. It's in the UK just now. It seems that we don't have the numbers to tell how serious it is, but we do know that it's spreading faster even than BA2, which was as quick as measles, the previously quickest known spreading airborne virus. The recombinant variants are ones that have come from the combination of two different types. So instead of just a mutation which has arisen from, say, Omicron or Delta, this one seems to be two combined together. So that means that there was a person somewhere who was infected with both at the same time. And the viruses have exchanged some genes and then gone on to produce a more successful version. So COVID's not over. We do know that we need to get vaccines all around the world to developing countries in particular to stop it doing this in order to prevent it from continuing to change and get around the vaccines that we have at the moment. And even though the variants that we have are relatively mild in vaccinated people, they're still just as severe as the original COVID was, the one that caused all the fuss in Wuhan in the first place. They're still just as severe as that one. And in unvaccinated people or in people whose vaccine immunity has waned. So it's very important that we get on with that job of vaccinating the world, and that of course includes our youngest children, and we're still anxiously awaiting news of when we will be able to see some Moderna or Pfizer vaccine rolled out in our under fives. It's now getting beyond urgent and into the phase of this really should have happened by now if we were focused on that effort as much as we were for the adults. And so I think there's a moral as well as a practical need to prevent constant reinfection in the group 0 to 5 years old. So we'll keep pushing for that, and in the meantime keep suggesting that people reduce transmission where we can by breathing clean air and wearing masks. I hope you've had a great Easter with your family. Enjoy all the good things that this time of year has to offer, and continue to look after others who are less well off than we are. Thanks very much for your time.
And that's WP for this week. We'll be back again next time. For myself, I wish you a happy Easter, but for now, it's back to you, Ivan and Melly.
Thanks, Nelson, and you have a great Easter weekend too.
And here's Leo with what's coming up on 6 News tonight.
Thanks, guys. Today on 6 News, Australia decides week 1 of the campaign wraps up with both Morrison and Albanese putting the political warfare on hold today following what some have described as a car crash week, plus the latest Easter celebrations, the situation out of Ukraine, and a special announcement about us here at 6 News. You can see the full bulletin on our YouTube channel. Just search 6 News Australia to find us, or our website 6newsau.com. For now, though, guys, it's back to you.
Thanks, Leo. And that's our weekly news and current affairs. We have the latest news on our website, wamnnews.com.au.
Don't forget to subscribe to WAMN Extra News Club so we can continue our work in the community. Full details on wamnnews.com.au/news/extra. From Melly and myself, wish you good health, good night, happy Easter, see you next Sunday.
Thanks for watching.